What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, although it feels like forever ago, it has only been a short 2 years since we had presentations at San Diego Comic-Con Hall H by Marvel Studios and D23. And this year is going to be quite the comeback because not only is San Diego Comic-Con dropping right when Deadpool and Wolverine are hitting theaters, but D23 is 1 week later, and we expect Marvel to go big with their presentations at both because let's face it, there have been a ton of changes since last time we heard from them. Directors, writers, release dates, actors, all of it. There's a lot to announce. Today we're going to look forward to the San Diego Comic-Con presentation and focus on what we can expect them to announce, not given the rumor mill because there have been a ton of franchises floating around lately that they haven't announced yet, but more reasonably what kind of new release dates and films we can expect, what they're going to try to focus on to get done during that presentation. And I think because we've been reporting on it every day and from the sources that you can trust in the industry, we have a pretty good idea of what that presentation is going to look like. We're going to break down the new mock slate for the Multiverse Saga and expectations for what the Marvel Studios is actually going to announce at the upcoming San Diego Comic-Con Hall H 2024. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report or mock slate like we're covering today, and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner to coincide with the release of Deadpool and Wolverine. Again, all you gotta do, be a subscriber, leave a comment. If you want, stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so let's jump right into it because as I said during the prologue, there is a lot for them to announce. Most everything has changed. All we have right now from Marvel Studios is the official theatrical slate through the end of 2025, which includes 4 films: Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Blade, and next up after Deadpool and Wolverine, Captain America: Brave New World. Now again, we already know that those films are coming next year. That ends the theatrical slate at 2025, and we know that the only other movie that they're putting out alongside those 2 Avengers films is Armor Wars. If Secret Wars comes out in May of 2027 and Armor Wars takes one of the slots in 2026, Spider-Man aside because that's Sony's release, that only leaves 2 movies left if they're going to do 3 in 2026, and 1 movie left for 2027, that's if they're going to put one out in February before Avengers Secret Wars in May. There is not much real estate at all for them to put new films like all the franchises we've been hearing, Young Avengers or a World War Hulk film. Again, there are only 2 or 3 slots left. That's if Avengers Secret Wars comes out in 2027, and according to sources we trust like Daniel RPK, that is still the plan at Marvel Studios, which means Shang-Chi 2 will for sure get one of those slots, Armor Wars will get one of them as well, then Thor 5 is most likely the other film that will for sure get a slot, and perhaps Doctor Strange 3, and that's it. So all these other projects that are swirling in pre-development at Marvel Studios, like Midnight Suns, Young Avengers, those are all after the conclusion of the Multiverse Saga. So expectation 1, they finish the theatrical slate. Expectation 2, they go ahead and fill in all of the TV shows that we know that they're going to release with approximate release dates and seasons. Daredevil, Ironheart, Wonder Man, all of these shows, guys, it's crazy to think they haven't even officially announced Wonder Man. That wasn't broken in the trades until right after the last D23 presentation, and they didn't talk about it at all. So they haven't had a chance to talk about some of these shows that have officially been filming now and for years. It's kind of crazy to think about. That's how far ahead of themselves they were. It really also recontextualizes what their old CEO, Bob Chapek, was all about. Really just a pipeline of putting out content after content without any concern for how it actually all fit together. Now, of course, Marvel Studios loves to make huge splashes, especially at San Diego Comic-Con and Hall H. And what better way to do that than to announce that there's an X-Men film coming. It has probably been one of the most reported on projects starting late last year when Deadline broke the story that they were going to start meeting with writers this year, and now we've just officially learned who's going to be writing the X-Men project, where Deadline late last month confirmed that it's Michael Leslie. So I do suspect, even though we're going to get the rest of the Multiverse Saga slate, that they will look forward and at least talk about the X-Men because they know they're coming, and that's the kind of huge announcement that they would make. Now, they are probably going to show some trailers too, and as I mentioned, Deadpool and Wolverine are about to hit theaters that same weekend, so if anything, they're going to tee up a trailer for the next Marvel movie, Captain America: Brave New World. I would suspect that would be the perfect weekend to drop that, and very generally, they will also release a couple of them But then of course they always show first look footage or new trailers that maybe the CGI isn't ready for, totally behind closed doors, and of course we have to sort of report on those via secondhand accounts. Speaking of which, that's a huge difference between San Diego Comic-Con and D23. They showed a lot more footage at D23 in 2022 and focused on basically already announced projects, where at San Diego Comic-Con they looked forward and announced the new stuff like Avengers 5 and Avengers 6. That was basically the difference between the presentations, and again, because these are so close, a week apart, that's what I'm suspecting to be the difference here there. But they have a ton to talk about. New directors and cast, and of course they bring these people out on stage, but you know, I have to put an asterisk by this only because a lot of the upcoming projects, like say the Fantastic Four, where they would love to bring that cast out, will be on set and in the thick of filming when some of this hits. So maybe some of the other cast, like for films that have wrapped, Thunderbolts, maybe Captain America, Brave New World, they might actually bring Harrison Ford on stage. I could see that. Big splashes like that, things that are going to be noteworthy and actually catch some news, and then look forward to huge projects past the Multiverse Saga. So, reasonable expectations, a trailer or two, the rest of the theatrical slate, what's going on with the TV shows, even the unannounced ones like Wonder Man and the new Vision Quest series, when we can expect those, and of course them talking about the new X-Men film that confirmed has a writer and will probably be the first film or one of the first films to come out after the Multiverse Saga concludes. Speaking of which, that is my final thought. As I mentioned, Daniel RPK and a couple of other sources have said the plan is right now for Avengers 5 and 6 on target, come out and finish in 2027. I still think it would be totally reasonable for them to kick Avengers Secret Wars down the road just a bit, get Avengers 5 out so we get an Avengers film in 2026, delay maybe 1 and 2 to 2028 and 29 or even 2028. That of course would add a couple of slots to the multiverse slate, so to speak. There would be room for some extra films that they could fill in, like a Young Avengers. For right now, we're going to stick to what the industry insiders we trust are saying, but that again could be a huge surprise and when they announce it. And so most of all, I think one of the most exciting reveals here is we're actually going to get a feel of what the rest of the Multiverse Saga looks like, because right now no one really knows. We're all just guessing. It's been years since we've heard from them. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below, what you're most hyped for in the upcoming Marvel Studios slate, what projects you would most want to be added if you had a chance to add one film to them. What are you most looking to see? And again, as I mentioned quickly, Spider-Man is really Sony's release deal, so where Marvel may only do 2 or 3 movies in 1 year, Sony could go ahead and squeeze, you know, Spider-Man into the summer. They've done it before, and so I don't suspect one to sort of influence the other. We'll have to wait and see if they talk about it. Very generally they don't. At Marvel presentations, they don't bring up Spider-Man. We'll have to see if they add it to the calendar, though, this year at SDCC. Doesn't mean they won't, they just generally haven't in the past. You guys let me know all your thoughts down below. Quick reminder to hit the subscribe button and leave a comment.